back to Resilience plus Rise, the space where we excavate the extraordinary from the heart of the challenge. I'm your host, Thomas Carrier. If you're feeling a pull towards a deeper purpose, a more impactful legacy, maybe beyond the peaks that you have already conquered, or in the valleys that you're walking through, you're in the right place. Because just like the 26.2 transformative miles I explored in my book, Resilience plus Rise, life's most significant chapters often begin when we dare to redefine our finish line. And yes, it is available to buy. Today's guest, Dr. Rani Thanacoody. She's a visionary entrepreneur. She's based in UK. She's an esteemed founder of AmazingYou, and she has carved an indelible mark in the field of holistic wellness. She's got an array of qualification, whether we are talking about PhD in management, she's a clinical hypnotherapist, a certified Mars Venus life and relationship coach, a breathwork coach, a compassionate chakra healer, a life force compassion practitioner. You name it. Okay, there is tarot card and insightful astrologer also. I can go on and on. But one of the main elements that is there about Dr. Rani is that her passion, her unwavering passion for empowering women. Sh- Dr. adeptly employs various modalities. I will be putting out her information in the comments below. Before I can go on and on and on, welcome to Resilience Plus Rise, the podcast, Dr. Rani.
Hi, Thomas. Thank you so much for this beautiful introduction and for the welcome to your podcast. I am very excited to be here today.
So, uh, Doctor, you have had a background in management and you are currently also a lecturer in Nottingham dealing with HR and the other modalities. But you have made a distinct move towards whether we are talking about ranging from tarot cards, past life regressions, whether we are talking about hypnotherapists. There would have been something that would have wanted you to go through it or being a pull towards it. In my podcast, I usually tend to say is that at times, from our deepest of pains comes our deepest of purposes, or our light gets seen from our scars or from our wounds. So, Doctor, what's your story?
Oh my God, I think the podcast will not be enough to share everything, but I'll try to be
Sure.
as brief. So, my those wounds I have, it started since I was 4 years old.
Okay.
And at that time, my grandmother, whom I deeply connected with throughout my early childhood, she passed away at 4 years when I was 4 years old. And that left a huge hole, I would say, in my heart and in my life. And I had my parents as a child, but my parents, they did a great job. They did the best they could, but they couldn't tune into my feelings, into my emotions. You know, as children, we all want something, but we cannot always express it. And how will the adult guess it's not easy for the adults as well to know what is going on in the head of that little child. So I grew up, since that day, I disconnected from my real truth because that was my way of coping with the death of my grandmother. So I started to withdraw. And soon after that, the next year, I think, at kindergarten, I was sexually abused. So the trauma continued, the wound got bigger and bigger. And as I grew up, I started feeling very shy, very withdrawn, lonely, empty, confused. So I grew up like that. And I was the shyest girl in the class at secondary school. Can you believe that? You wouldn't hear a word from my mouth. But all this happened because it was a way for me to to cope with the world, to cope with my emotions. So I suppress everything. I really disconnected from myself because I couldn't speak my truth. And that helped me when my grandmother passed away. But then that, after a few years after that, it wasn't helping me to be quiet, not to speak my truth, to just listen and to be fearful of everybody. And when I started working, I experienced workplace bullying from one job to another. This has been the story of my whole career in universities, I would say. And in 2021, Thomas, in 2017, I left my job because of the bullying in the UK. It was so serious, I couldn't bear that anymore. I had enough. I packed my stuff, left the UK, and went to Mauritius, to my home country. And there I started praying more, reflecting, and something in my heart told me I will have to come back to the UK. And I wasn't so enthusiastic because of all the experiences I had. But I listened to my heart and I prayed about that. And I started applying for jobs locally and back to the UK. I didn't get one interview in Mauritius, to tell you. So it wasn't meant for me to be there. The universe has a way to
Hmm.
always direct us to where we need to be. And I I got back to the UK I came back to the UK in 2018. Are you here, Thomas?
Yes, 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 yes. I'm listening to it. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. Because the picture got blurred, so that's why I am wondering if you are still here.
Very, very much. Yeah. In fact, I'm just listening to your story. Please do continue.
Okay, fabulous. So when I came back to the UK in 2018, something told me that I would need to do more than teaching. I didn't know what it was at that time. So I started my job, which I am still in until now. So it's the first time in my life that I've been in a job for so long. Usually, with the bullying, I would leave the job every year and relocate home as well. So that was a lot of hassle. I was in a survival mode all my life. And until I started, when the pandemic hit, I started my first course. I wanted to find a relationship, so I joined a course with a love coach. But that was an incredible course because it helped me to find the love not outside, but that there is love first inside of me that I need to look into. And that was such a wonderful course that led me to the hypnotherapy and to all the various modalities. So during the pandemic, 6, 7 days a week, I was studying every night. I was one night with Les Brown on his course, one night with Marissa Peer. Every night I was with a different community, and that kept me uplifted because they were positive people. We were all learning, growing together, and I never felt alone. Everybody was feeling anxious, anxiety, depression, but for me, it was time for me to study And now that I look back, Thomas, I don't know how I studied so much every night like that, because now I don't
Hmm.
have that time.
Well, we, as they say, is that time is available to everybody. It's
Right.
how you make use of it. But when we go from there, now I've just seen, I mean, what you have done is that, okay, you've done a hypnotherapist, you have been a love coach, you have been into past life regression, you have been into tarot cards, you have been into astrology, etc. Now, when you do these different courses, at times you realize there is a true calling somewhere, something that stirs within. You did mention a profound truth, which a lot of people tend to forget, is that the love first is within your own self. And that's when, because if your cup is full with your own love, that's when you can give it to others. But when that itself is empty, how can you talk about love? But when we talk about all these different courses, what has been few or maybe one of the top course that has changed you as the human that you were?
I think for me, the most profound course was the hypnotherapy,
Okay.
because this has helped me to really dig within myself. Because the other courses, they were great. Every course is great, but this one has helped me to dig within myself, to look at the causes. Every time we would deal with one issue that I would come up, whether it's guilt, whether it's fear. So I would really go deep to the root cause of it. And then the session would help me to release, get the understanding of where it's coming from, because they say understanding is power. Because when you
Hmm.
understand, you know that it's no longer serving you now. It was serving you as a child, but now it's hurting you. And then you learn to release it using different techniques. But I also learn in that session how to heal, how to love my inner child that I never knew before. That little child inside, we all of us, we are two people. We have our inner child, and it's the adult version, and then the adult version of us that will
Hmm.
always be with us, that little child. It will be, and that's our job. It's about reparenting that child, because that child has been programmed with so many beliefs that's not theirs, from the
Hmm.
world, from the society, from family, education, all these institutions. And the child has suppressed, has kept all that. But now it's time for the child to release that, to let the veil come down, so that the child and that adult can be the authentic self. And that's what I found very profound. And it, every one of my clients, when we start to heal that inner child, oh my God, the tears will come down. They will really feel deep inside their heart that child that has been neglected, that has been abandoned for so long. We have abandoned ourselves. That's why I say we disconnect with ourselves, because we abandon ourselves. We start to please people around us. That's what I used to be, a people pleaser, so that I can adapt to my environment. So we forget ourselves as a child, and we start to please the adult. We start to please our school teachers, our friends, and the child is completely disconnected to that adult, and the child feel the pain as we grow up. As we grow up as adult, we feel lost, we feel anxious, but we don't know what it is. But it's that inner child that has been neglected. So this has been very deep work and very enlightening for me. And I see that with my clients as well. When we start to go within, give the love, give the experience of safety to that inner child, because many of us, we didn't have a great childhood, and it's normal, it's okay, because our family had trauma. It's a lot of trauma we are carrying around. It's generation of trauma in our DNA. So it is our responsibility now to heal ourselves. But when we reparent ourselves, we are also healing all these generations, this past generation, but we are also healing the future generations. So that's what I would say. It's been life changing, the hypnotherapy for me, Thomas.
Beautiful. So, which gets to me into the next particular question is that there will be a lot of people who may not realize the problems.
Hmm.
The other day I was seeing is that somebody was doing the balancing act, and they told the moment you are focusing just on the ground level of the balancing act, that particular stick doesn't remain for the same. It will always keep falling down. But when you start focusing on the above, whether it's looking at the solution or what we believe can be the outcome, the process is way more stronger. A lot of us, we tend to forget the immense potentiality or the resilience within all of us, and we just tend to focus on the immediate problems. We don't realize there is much more to that. So for that, in your experience, what do you say to these people? Or I would, let me put it in this way, is that what are the suggestions that you would give people to heal themselves? I'm not asking about the trade secrets, but things which you have already mentioned, and you know it is there that people can make use of to grow. What would those be?
There are many, Thomas.
Okay.
There are
Let's say around four or
essential.
five critical ones that you believe can help people to be from where they are to where they can be.
Yes. Yes. So I'll start with the ones that I really dive into at the very beginning of my journey, and that was connecting with nature. You know,
Okay.
you don't need to go to any therapy if you don't have any money, if that's not for you at this time, just go into nature. Just go for a walk. And I used to do that every day. I've been doing that. And that helped me a lot. That helped me to connect with nature, but also to disconnect with my mobile. So I would always leave all my gadget back at home and go to in nature for a walk. Really be in the moment. Appreciate the sky. Appreciate the trees, and just be grateful at the same time. I would just walk and say thank you trees, thank you sky, thank you Mother Earth. That would be my mantra throughout my walk, and it really helps me to appreciate the beauty of nature. That's how I used to love nature, but more when I started to do that for myself, and that helped me to clear my mind, cl- be able to, when I come back, to focus better on my job. So I would do that at lunchtime, take a 45 minutes break, go for my walk after lunch. Wow. Then I can tackle anything that comes at me. It's a very basic, very simple tool. And with that, if you can do some gratitude, because gratitude, it's another form of attracting love, because when you are grateful, it means you are more loving. You are not complaining. It's about being upset. You are at the lower energy, you are fearful. So that's why it's so important to practice gratitude, because
Hmm.
the more you practice gratitude, the more it multiplies in the form of abundance that come towards you. So these are the two simple things. And the third thing I would say is I train as a breathwork coach, and I do that every morning, Thomas. And breathing, that's our life force. You know, we come from, in the Eastern cultures, breath is such an important, whether it's Tai Chi, whether it's yoga, the breath is prana, it's life force, it's energy. So most of us, we breathe from our diaphragm. And when we breathe from our diaphragm, it activates the fear receptors, which is not good. That's why we get so fearful, we because we breathe from here and then we start to panic. But the most important is to breathe deeply from the belly. That will activate the calm receptors in our body. That will calm the nervous system, the vagus nerve. So I would suggest to everybody, do some breathing technique. And breathing has proved to help with so many issues like digestion. I used to have digestive issues. When I do my breathing, no more digestion, no more burping. It regulates the nervous system because the digestive issues is related to the vagus nerve behind our ear, the longest nerve, and that's create, if that nerve is under stress, it will connect to all the organs and create digestive issues, heart problem, and all sorts. So we need to calm our vagus nerve, our main nerve in the body. So deep breathing, I would recommend. Very simple, So people breathe in 1 to 4, and then they exhale 8 to 1. So a shorter inhale and a longer exhale. So that
Okay.
calms them. Yeah, that will calm them. So, and they can do that anywhere, anytime before bed. There are different type of breathing, but I don't. It really depends on each individual. But this one,
True.
this one, it's a 1 to 4 you breathe in, and then 8 to 1 you exhale slowly. That will calm you down. Yeah. So these are the three things that I would say. Very, very simple for people to do. And then the more complex one, it depends on themselves. Some people like to journal, some
Hmm.
people love journaling. For me, I can write a few words, but for me, I'm not great at journaling. But some people like it. They tell me they put their feelings, they put their emotions, and they love it. But I prefer to do it to sit with myself, to do a bit of meditation. So I do other things as well. And then another one is having a gratitude book in the
Hmm.
evening, what you are grateful for throughout the day and what you receive as well. It's not only the gratitude, but also what you receive from the world. Because we are giving, we are thankful, we give, we are grateful, but then what do we receive? Because women, as women, we tend to have a problem for receiving. We tend to
Hmm.
give and give and give. But we have to learn to receive as well, because that's the flow of life. It's a give and take, like breathe in and breathe out. We can't just exhale, exhale. We won't be able to survive. We have to inhale and exhale. It's a balance, like you said. We have to create that balance. So these are the simple things I would say anybody can do. And other things is find a therapist to help you to go through the deep issues, because some of the deep issues, deeper layers, is difficult to peel by yourself. So that's why you need a coach to guide you to move forward. You need a therapist to help you to dig in your deep emotions and find the help. So these are the simple things I would suggest to the audience to start with, Thomas.
Wonderful. That's a lot of learnings, and though it is though simple, but people they may start it with thinking about just let me try. But the main element over here is the consistency. And guys, as I mentioned, is that I'll be putting out Dr. Rani's information in the comments below. So if any of this particular thing has been resonating with you, do reach out to her, do connect with her, and she would be very much open to having a conversation on what else is possible. Another question which comes up, Dr. Rani, just being mindful of the time. Now,
Yeah.
you have done so many different courses, so many different modalities, and you're still teaching. Is there anything that's some in the pipeline, maybe which you have already started, and that we could be looking forward to maybe in the next few weeks, next few months, next few years, or is it just there and you're just working on it?
Okay, thank you for asking this question. What I've got a few books coming.
Oh,
So
wonderful.
one is coming in, it's a co-authored books. It's coming in September. It will be called Women of Purpose. Uh, it's about compassionate hearts.
Okay.
And then there are two other books coming next year. One is about building resilience. Yes.
Okay.
And the other one, it will be called Miracles Are Normal.
Super. Super.
Yes. And then
And
I've got some other things on the pipeline that I am offering more workshops in the coming month. I will have a mini course coming. So I'm working on that on my website. Yeah, I'm excited. And then being on more podcasts, being in more speaking engagements. So I've got a lot of podcasts I have to be, I've been invited as a guest. So I'm really excited about the future. Yeah.
wonderful, wonderful. And again, as a parting thought, is there something else that you would like to tell the audience? It could be about your own self. It could be about how to take life in a more slower vein. Or you already mentioned about being in gratitude. And guys, what really caught my attention was when I went to Dr. Rani's page. The first thing was she said she's in a state of absolute gratitude, and she embodies that. When I have spoken to her, every time she talks about is that just being thankfulness. But is there something that you would like to end this conversation with, whether it's about yourself or what you would like to tell the audience or anything in general? The floor is yours.
Thank you so much. What I would like to say to the audience is s- start looking inside within you. We have a tendency to look outside
Hmm.
to make us happy. We look at the social media, we imitate people, we dress like them, or we try to uh, put makeup on our face, do all these external things to make us a bit happy, to make us a bit more joyful. But it's only temporary.
Okay.
But the most important is to start to look within. Start to look within, start to heal yourself from within, because that's what you will radiate off. When you heal yourself, you will radiate joy and happiness to the world, to everybody around you. Because the makeup will just make you happy 5 minutes, but inside you'll be miserable and people will see it on your face. You can have a lot of makeup, but you might not be happy, and it will show because everything that's from inside will always reflect back to the world. So I want you to remember, everybody, that you are the treasure that you have been seeking. So look within you. That's where all your treasures lie. And I want to invite everybody to connect with me on my website, https://drrani, RANITHANACOODY.com. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much for this incredible invitation, Thomas. It's been an honor to be with you and your guests and your audience.
Thank you, Rani. Thank you. It was a very very vivid conversation, and especially I believe those a few nuggets that you mentioned about walking in the nature or being in gratitude or journaling or the breath work. Even though it sounds very simple, it can be very much transformative. And I hope some people take a page out of it. And